Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the top 6 most valuable U.S. Jefferson nickel coins, value in today's market. So let's get started. First up, the Jefferson nickel from 2007 with the Philadelphia mint mark, known as the 2007 P. Monticello nickel. While at first glance it may appear as just another modern 5-cent piece, certain details and conditions can make it more appealing to collectors. Specifically, we will discuss the coin in extra fine condition and examine its market value in today's world of coin collecting. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse, and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. Over the decades, this design has seen a few modifications, but the 2007 coin maintained the classic Monticello reverse that collectors admire. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 2007, which means that in circulated condition, they are common. However, condition and quality of strike always play a critical role in determining value. When we talk about extra fine condition, we are referring to a grade where the coin shows light or on the high points of the design, but much of the detail remains sharp and attractive. On the 2007 P. Jefferson nickel, this means Jefferson's hair details are still visible with slight flattening. The lettering around the rim is clear and bold, and Monticello, on the reverse, retains good architectural lines with only minor wear on the steps and columns. Collectors appreciate coins in extra fine condition because they display the artistry of the design without the heavy, where that often comes with circulation. Now, the question that interests most collectors and viewers is what the value of this coin is in today's market. It is important to remember that modern Jefferson nickels from the 2000s are still widely available in pocket change and bankrolls, so their base value remains at face value, which is 5 cents. However, when we look at coins that are preserved in extra fine condition, the story changes slightly. Extra fine coins of this date do not command high premiums like older and rarer dates, but they are often set aside by collectors who want to assemble a complete set of Jefferson nickels in higher grades. In today's coin market, a 2007 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition generally sells for around 10 to 20 cents, which is above face value but still very modest. Dealers may offer small amounts above face value when purchasing in bulk, especially if the coins are problem-free and well-preserved. For individual sales to collectors, the price can sometimes reach closer to 50 cents depending on demand, though this is less common. The real premium for this coin comes when we move beyond extra fine condition into mint state grades. Uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can bring in a few dollars. And coins with full steps on Monticello, meaning all the lines on the steps are sharp and complete, can be worth significantly more. It is also worth noting that errors and varieties play a role in the market for modern Jefferson nickels. Some 2007 nickels may display die cracks, off-center strikes, or other minting errors that increase their value well beyond that of a normal extra fine example. Collectors of error coins are willing to pay premiums for these unique pieces, so it is always worth checking carefully if you have a 2007 P nickel that looks unusual. In summary, the 2007 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition is a coin that holds modest value in today's market, usually around 10 to 20 cents, with some examples fetching up to 50 cents depending on collector interest. While it may not be a rare treasure, it represents a piece of modern United States coinage history and continues the long tradition of the Jefferson nickel series. For collectors who appreciate condition and detail, setting aside examples in extra fine or better condition is a rewarding way to build a collection that showcases the artistry of American coin design. Next up, the 2012 D. Monticello Jefferson nickel can be interesting to discuss, especially when we focus on its background, minting details, and current market value in today's coin collecting world. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American coinage since 1938, and in 2006, the original Monticello reverse design was restored after the Westward Journey commemorative designs ended. By 2012, the Monticello design had already been reintroduced for a few years, and production continued at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The coin in question today, the 2012 D. Jefferson nickel, was struck at the Denver Mint, which is known for producing hundreds of millions of nickels each year. In total, the Denver Mint produced over 600 million Jefferson nickels dated 2012 with the D mint mark. With such a high mintage, these coins are considered common and can still be easily found in circulation across the United States. For that reason, most circulated examples, especially those in normal dirty condition, do not command any premium over face value. In other words, a well-worn 2012 D. Jefferson nickel is generally worth just 5 cents when exchanged in everyday transactions. However, collectors often pay close attention to condition, and that is where the story of value changes. While your average dirty or circulated example will not have much collectible worth, Uncirculated or high-grade specimens can be far more desirable. A coin graded mint state 65 or higher, with full steps on Monticello, for example, could sell for several dollars or even more, depending on the level of preservation. That said, such coins are carefully preserved by collectors and are not the kind typically found in everyday pocket change. When we focus only on nickels that are in normal, dirty, or circulated condition, the market value remains tied to face value. Dealers and collectors simply do not pay extra for coins that show wear, dirt, or surface marks unless there is something unusual about them. For example, errors or varieties can make even a common modern coin much more valuable. If a 2012 D nickel had an off-center strike, a doubled die, or a major planchette error, then the value could rise significantly, sometimes into the tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on the severity and visibility of the error. But without such a rarity, the coin remains a common issue worth only 5 cents. Today's coin market is very active, with collectors focusing on both older and modern issues. Websites, coin shows, and online auctions provide constant updates on coin values, but it is important to note that modern high-mintage coins, like the 2012 D nickel, rarely see strong demand in circulated condition. This is because millions of pristine rolls still exist, and collectors often prefer those cleaner examples for their albums or grading submissions. So if you have a 2012 D Jefferson nickel in normal dirty condition, its value today is 5 cents. It is still worth holding on to if you enjoy collecting. As part of a complete date and mint mark set of Jefferson Nickels, it also serves as a reminder of how many coins are struck by the U.S. Mint every year, and how some pieces that seem ordinary now might become harder to find in decades to come. For now, however, unless your coin has an error or is in exceptional uncirculated condition, the market value of a circulated 2012 D Jefferson nickel is the same as its face value of 5 cents. Next up, the 2006 Jefferson nickel with the D Mint mark, struck at the Denver Mint, and look at its details, history, and especially its value in extra fine condition in today's market. By 2006, the U.S. Mint had already been producing Jefferson nickels for nearly 70 years. In the early 2000s, the design of the coin was temporarily changed during the Westward Journey nickel series to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. However, in 2006, the nickel returned to a more traditional appearance. The obverse was updated with a modern forward-facing portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse returned to the classic Monticello design. This made the 2006 issue historically important because it represented both a continuation of tradition and a new artistic direction. The 2006 D Jefferson nickel was struck at the Denver Mint, and the D Mint mark can be seen on the obverse side of the coin. Near Jefferson's portrait, millions of these coins were produced, meaning that they are not considered rare in the sense of limited availability. However, condition plays a very important role in determining the value of any coin. While circulated examples are common and generally worth only face value, coins in higher grades, especially those preserved in uncirculated or mint state condition, can command a premium among collectors. When we look specifically at the extra fine condition, we are dealing with a coin that has seen some circulation, but still retains most of its sharp details. An extra fine 2006 D Jefferson nickel will display light wear on the highest points of Jefferson's hair and face, and some flattening on the steps of Monticello on the reverse. However, the overall design will still be clear, with readable lettering and only moderate signs of handling. Collectors value coins in extra fine grade because they show both history and quality without being overly worn. Now let us consider the market value of this coin. The 2006 D Jefferson nickel in average circulated condition is worth just 5 cents, the same as its face value, because so many were produced and most examples are still available today. But in extra fine condition, collectors are often willing to pay a bit more, especially if the coin has strong eye appeal and minimal marks. On today's market, an extra fine 2006 D Jefferson nickel typically sells for around 10 cents to 50 cents. While that may not sound like much, it is still above face value and reflects collector interest in assembling complete sets of Jefferson nickels. Of course, it is important to mention that coins in higher grades can be worth significantly more. A 2006 D Jefferson nickel in mint state condition, especially with a certified grade from a professional grading service, may sell for a few dollars or more depending on its quality. Exceptional examples, with full steps on meaning that the lines on the building steps are fully visible without wear, can bring even higher prices because of their relative scarcity. In summary, the 2006 D Monticello Jefferson nickel is a modern coin that represents an important moment in the history of American coinage. While it is not rare in the traditional sense, its value depends heavily on condition. In extra fine condition, collectors can expect the coin to be worth slightly more than face value, usually in the range of 10 cents to 50 cents in today's market. For those who enjoy collecting Jefferson nickels, this coin offers both historical interest and affordability, making it a worthwhile addition to any collection. Next up, the 2017 nickel with the Philadelphia Mint mark. represented by the letter P, holds a special place for collectors. While at first glance it may seem like just another recent 5-cent piece, the 2017 P nickel carries importance in numismatics and is often sought after in higher conditions such as extra fine. This script will guide you through the background, design, historical importance, and current market value of this coin, particularly in extra fine condition. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Its obverse design features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse, you see Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello, which has become one of the most recognized designs in American coinage. Over the years, there have been some changes to the portrait, but the Monticello building has remained the centerpiece on the reverse, giving the series its strong identity among collectors. Now, let us look at why the 2017 P nickel is unique. In 2017, the United States Mint marked the 225th anniversary of its establishment. To commemorate this milestone, the Mint added a P Mint mark on all nickels struck at the Philadelphia Mint for the first time in history. Before this, Philadelphia had produced billions of nickels without carrying a Mint mark, except during the war years of 1942 to 1945. The 2017 issue broke tradition and made the year special in the Jefferson Nickel series. This means that every 2017 nickel from Philadelphia carries the P, and that makes it significant in the eyes of collectors. It represents a one-year-only design variation, and that is something coin collectors usually treasure. When evaluating the value of a coin, like the 2017 P nickel, condition is very important. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state. Extra fine is considered a mid-high grade in circulated coinage. It means the coin still shows most of its original details, with only light wear on the highest points of the design. The portrait of Jefferson remains sharp, the lettering is clear, and Monticello on the reverse has a good amount of detail visible. This grade is attractive to collectors who prefer affordable but still well-preserved coins. In terms of mintage, the 2017 P nickel had hundreds of millions of pieces struck, so it is by no means rare in general circulation. However, coins that have been preserved in extra fine condition are much less common, as circulation tends to wear coins down to lower grades fairly quickly. Collectors who specialize in Jefferson nickels or those who want a complete modern set will often pay a premium for an extra fine. Example of the 2017 P issue. So how much is this coin worth in today's market? In average circulated condition, a 2017 P nickel will generally be worth only its face value of 5 cents, as billions exist and they are still common in pocket change. However, in extra fine condition, the coin begins to carry collectible value. Current market trends show that an extra fine 2017 P nickel usually sells for around 50 cents to $1. Some examples, especially if they are exceptionally well preserved or sold as part of a collection, might bring slightly higher prices. While this is not a huge fortune, it is still many times the face value, and most importantly, the coin represents a historic one-year minting event. The value also depends on where you sell it. A local coin shop may offer less, since dealers buy at wholesale prices. Online auction sites, on the other hand, might fetch higher amounts, as collectors bid competitively. Coin shows and collector forums also provide venues for selling such coins to people who are specifically interested in Jefferson nickels. In conclusion, the 2017 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition is not just a common 5-cent piece. It is a commemorative reminder of the Mint's 225th anniversary, and the first time the Philadelphia Mint mark was ever placed on the Jefferson nickel. While its market value in extra fine condition usually ranges between 50 cents and $1, its true importance lies in its historical significance and the role it plays in completing a Jefferson nickel collection. For collectors, holding a 2017 P nickel in extra fine condition is a way to own a modern coin that marks a milestone in United States mint history. Next up, the 2014 D. Monticello Jefferson nickel in normal dirty condition and its value in today's market. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of American coinage since 1938 and continues to circulate widely in the United States today. Among these coins, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 2014 with the D Mint mark is a common coin that many people come across in their daily change. The D Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which has produced hundreds of millions of these nickels for circulation. Even though this coin is relatively modern, collectors and coin enthusiasts still like to explore its details, production numbers, and market value. The design of the 2014 D. Jefferson nickel features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse. This portrait has been updated over the years, but it continues to honor Jefferson's role in American history. On the reverse, the Monticello building, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia, is displayed. The detail of the Monticello is one of the most recognizable aspects of the Jefferson nickel series. In terms of production, the Denver Mint struck a large number of 2014 D. Jefferson nickels, The mintage was over 450 million coins, which means that it is not a rare coin by any measure. With such a high production figure, most examples are worth only their face value of 5 cents, especially in circulated condition. A coin in normal dirty condition, which means it has seen regular use in commerce and has collected wear and dirt, is considered to be in average circulated condition. Such coins are extremely common and will not bring a premium in the current coin market. Collectors generally look for coins in higher grades, such as uncirculated or mint state, when assigning additional value to modern nickels. In uncirculated condition, a 2014 D Jefferson nickel can sometimes sell for around 25 cents to $1, depending on the grade and the buyer's interest. However, in normal circulated condition, especially if the coin appears dirty, its value remains at face value, which is 5 cents. It is important to note that coin value is influenced by rarity, demand, and condition. Since the 2014 D nickel is not rare and millions of them are still in circulation, demand is very low for circulated examples. Collectors can easily obtain higher quality versions for a small premium, which further reduces the interest in average dirty coins. For this reason, if you find a 2014 D nickel in your pocket change, it is worth keeping only if you have a personal interest in coin collecting or if you are saving nickels in bulk. Another factor that can affect value is errors or varieties. Some Jefferson nickels from various years have been known to display minting errors, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors can make a coin more valuable to collectors. However, for the 2014 D nickel, no widely recognized or significant error varieties have been reported in large numbers. If someone were to find an unusual minting error on a 2014 D nickel, that coin could be worth several dollars or more, but this is not common. In summary, the 2014 D Monticello Jefferson nickel, in normal dirty condition, is a common coin worth only its face value of 5 cents in today's market. While uncirculated examples may bring a small premium, circulated dirty coins are not collectible for value. They remain interesting as part of everyday coinage and as a representation of the Jefferson nickel series. But in terms of market value, they do not carry extra worth. If you enjoy coin collecting, it can still be fun to hold on to examples like this to compare designs, mint marks, and conditions across different years. But when it comes to selling or valuing a 2014 D Jefferson nickel in circulated dirty condition, it is safe to say that the value is just 5 cents. Next up, the 2000s, assuming they are still too recent to carry much value. However, certain issues in mint marks have gained attention among coin enthusiasts, especially when found in higher grades such as extra fine condition or better. One such coin is the 2008 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the Philadelphia mint mark, often referred to as the 2008 P nickel. In today's market, this coin can hold more value than many expect, and its place in modern numismatics is more interesting than it may seem at first glance. The Jefferson nickel series has been a part of American coinage since 1938. Replacing the Buffalo nickel. Over the decades, it has seen several design modifications, including the Westward Journey series from 2004 to 2005 and the return to the classic Monticello design starting in 2006. By 2008, the design once again featured the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the Monticello building on the reverse. While these coins were produced in the hundreds of millions, collectors know that certain dates and mint marks tend to stand out, especially when preserved in higher grades. The 2008 P Jefferson nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Like other modern nickels, it is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The Philadelphia Mint produced a large mintage that year, with over 640 million coins. Because of this high production, majority of these nickels still circulate in pocket change and do not carry significant premiums when worn. However, when we look at coins that have survived in extra fine condition, the picture changes. Extra fine, also called XF or F, is a collector's grade that represents a coin with light wear on the highest points but still strong details and clear design elements. Most 2P nickels found in circulation today are in lower circulated grades, such as very good or fine. Finding one that has been well preserved and still shows sharp details of Jefferson's hair, face, and the steps of Monticello can be more challenging than people think. Coins in extra fine condition appeal to collectors who want a clean, attractive example without paying the higher price of uncirculated or mint state coins. Now let's discuss the value in today's market. A standard circulated 2008 P nickel is generally worth only its face value of 5 cents. However, in extra fine condition, the coin can sell for around 25 cents to 50 cents, depending on the collector demand. While this may not sound like a huge amount, it is still several times its face value. More importantly, coins with sharp details and eye appeal often attract more attention and can sell for even higher prices in online auctions or coin shows. The real value begins to appear when we look at uncirculated examples, especially those graded by professional services. Mint state coins can sell for several dollars each, and in higher grades such as MS65 or MS66, prices can climb to the range of $10 to $20. Although this is beyond the extra fine condition we are focusing on, it shows how the market rewards well-preserved examples of modern nickels. For collectors, finding a strong extra fine piece can be the first step toward building a quality Jefferson nickel set. Collectors also appreciate the 2008 P-nickel because it marks a period shortly after the westward journey designs. Making it part of a modern transitional era, its affordability allows beginners to enter the hobby, while still offering enough value and challenge to keep advanced collectors interested. In summary, the 2008 P Monticello Jefferson nickel may not be a rare coin in terms of mintage, but in extra fine condition, it does carry added value above face. Its market worth today generally falls between 25 cents and 50 cents. With potential for more depending on eye appeal and collector interest, for those who enjoy searching through rolls of nickels or checking their pocket change. Keeping an eye out for this date in higher grades can be a rewarding discovery. It proves that even modern coins from the last 20 years can hold collector value and be worth setting aside for the future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you in next time. Happy collecting!